So now we are to talk about projects in a multi-project organization. We will talk about alignment to ensure that what we're doing is aligned with the business direction. We will talk about 3 types of projects that we have typically in a company, and we will talk about the matrix organization. So as you can imagine, this is the typical, this is the typical organization chart that we can see in a company. And if you remember also the exercise we did before, when you could, as a manager, decide whether something should be done as a project or not as a project. Now we have to ensure that all these activities we do are really aligned with the business direction. So we really get everything aligned with what we want to do and achieve in the company. So if you use then the red cap, I put it on for a moment, acting then as a top manager here, project portfolio owner, we have the right then to decide this we will do as projects and this we will not do as projects. And as I just said, we have to ensure that they are always aligned with the business direction. And take into account also this, that we actually have 3 types of projects typically in any organization. Internal projects, R&D projects, and customer projects. And we have to ensure that all these 3 projects, types of projects are aligned with the business that we want to have. So we could have then these internal projects that we could see as costs. Anyhow, the important thing is, if it's an investment or a cost, you can discuss. Anyhow, it's a type of project that aim to improve things internally, new machines, new ways of working, new processes and changes to an ERP system, for example. It's a typical internal project. Then we also have R&D projects or product development projects or service development projects, solution development projects. So different projects that we have as investments to improve our offering and develop new products. The third type of project we call customer projects, which are really then the business. And in many organizations, the project work form is used to deliver to the customer. So what we have developed internally, new products, new solutions, we then develop as typically customized deliveries to the customer, and we call them customer projects. So we have the customers here at the end that will receive what we develop in the projects and deliver in the projects. GPMM as a project management model can be used for all these 3 types of projects. And then we should then also here ensure that all of them are aligned with the business. So we have the red arrow here again. Then we have the multi-project organization, or we can call it the matrix organization, as you can see here. Once again, we have the caps. We have typically a top manager, red cap, could be a sponsor, and he could also be a project portfolio owner. We also have then the project manager, and we have different people here working in the projects. They could work then, they also act as line manager, functional managers, resource managers, or resource owners, or they're just project members, like these here. Think of that person down here, for example. What is special in this situation? How many managers does this person have? Well, actually, according to this picture, 2 managers. He has his functional or resource owner as a manager, but he also is reporting and working with a project manager. So this person has a little bit complicated situation in that sense, that it has to report to 2 people, 2 managers. So we have to ensure that in a well-working matrix organization that it's clear what things should he report and get order from when it comes to from the resource owner, and what things from the project manager. Actually, the situation could be even more complicated, as we can see now. Now we have 2 projects at the same time here. This project manager and this project manager, and this person down here, he now even have to report to 3 managers, 2 project managers and 1 line manager. So it's very important that we have an established way of working that defines then who decides what here and who gives orders about what to this person down here, to ensure that we work efficiently and that this person's time is used in the most efficient way. So we really deliver then at the end, as always, value to the customer and the right value to the customers, or internal, can be internal customers also. So to get the balanced matrix, we consider all these roles here. We have the product portfolio owner, we have a product sponsor, product manager, resource owner, or line manager, or functional manager, also known as, and we can have project members then. And what happens here then is that the product sponsor orders the project with the project charter from the project manager, and like that the project manager will start up the project and use resources in the company, like these project members, for example. And we have then the resource owner or the functional manager here at the same time, and the resources belong to his or her organization. And then to make it clear who decides what here between the resource owner and the project manager, we can use these 4 words: how, who, what, and when. The idea here is then, if we start here to the right in the project manager's world, that the project manager should decide what the person should do in this daily work. What should be done, based on the input, of course, that he has got from the project sponsor in the project charter, which defines on a high level what should be done. Then the project manager breaks down this to a number of activities, which we will see later on when we plan the project, work with project planning, and assigns then different activities to different project members, or the different project teams could actually be. In that sense, he also then decides when things should be done. So this activity should be done and when it should be done. And that is the project manager's responsibility. Then we also have the resource owner. To start with, then responsible for the how and the who. Meaning, if we start with the how, that how things should be done. The resource owner should ensure that we have processes, methods, tools in place that defines how things should be done. To be exact here, it could also happen, you will argue, that in the projects we could maybe modify things how we do. And in that sense, the project manager is involved. Yes, it can happen. We could tailor our ways of doing things. And in that sense, we change. And it could also be that in really detail of exactly how things are being done, the project member himself or the team decides on that. But if you take an overall high-level look at this, the how is decided by the resource owner, meaning that that person must be responsible for and ensure that we have the best processes, methods, and tools in place to carry out the projects. In that sense, he or she also decides who should do what. So he has his organization with a number of people. The line resource owner then picks which persons should work in this particular project, considering when they are available in time, what the needs are from the projects, what competence they have, etc. So he or she then decides and assigns the project members into a project. It could be that he or she assigns a complete team with different people, so all of them will work in the project. And then we could define the who a little bit more in detail. Exactly who does what can be decided within the project. Meaning in a team, for example, you will do the testing, I will do the planning, and I will do the programming, etc. So that is okay. But on a higher level, it is the resource owner who decides who should participate in the project. The project manager could have opinions and ask, I would like this particular person to participate, but it's not maybe possible because that person is involved in some other project. So then it's the resource owner who chooses. A little detail here we will see more on later on when we look into planning also. But to help the resource owner to then choose who should work in the project, the project manager must be very clear when he or she asks for a resource. He must say when in time it's needed, with what competencies are needed, and for how, I mean, the occupation. Maybe it's not a 100% working person, maybe it's a part-time working person. Like we saw before, and we see down here, that it could be a person working then, in this case is one project, but it could be in several projects. We must say very clearly how much dedication that person should have to the particular project in this particular time frame also. To complete the picture, there could actually be more roles here involved. We could have, if we work with agile methods, also product owners working closely with the project sponsor to define the work that should be done. Preparing, for example, a product backlog or a program backlog on what the activities, or project backlog, what the activities are to be done. We could have a PMO which supports the whole company here in this way of working with the processes and tools and so from a project management point of view. But there also it's a yellow function because it's a resource function or a functional function or a line function. Typically the resource owner here also acts as a receiver, because when the project is finished and we have done the deliveries either internally or maybe also to the customer, someone needs to maintain this afterwards, so the receiver comes into place, which is typically also a resource owner of people working in the project. To support all this, we could have a Scrum Master if we work in agile methods or using Scrum methods to support the teams here in the work and all the other people also. Because as you can also see here, finally then, we could also have not individual project members, but actually a number of teams working to develop what should be done in the project.